This is Channel 5 Action Neptune News with your anchors Brenton and Emily Bruce. Welcome in. I'm your anchor for tonight, Brenton. Recent news, there's been a recent upcropping of killings, and the police think it might be the elusive East Side Strangler. For more information, we're going to send to our reporter, Emily, out in the field. Emily, what's it looking like out there?
Well, I thought it was the E-string strangler. Am I wrong?
Looking at the teleprompter again, that was incorrect on my part. The E-string strangles by the seashore.
He strangles on the east side.
Yeah,
My favorite thing about this is that the E-string strangler doesn't strangle.
Oh,
remember?
Right. He doesn't strangle him. But he's
just
called the E-string. But they find E-strings?
Yeah, like he uses the strings.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah, how do they die?
I don't know.
There's not asphyxiation, right? Because he's like...
No, because it's not strangling. It's not suffocation.
Yeah, when they allude to the hillside strangler, it's like the hillside strangler. And he's like, except for M.O. And like...
How? Yeah.
Which is bananas. But welcome into Life on Mars, the Veronica Mars Rewatch podcast, where we rewatch episode by episode.
You committed there.
Yes. I wanted to do the news thing at the top, but I felt like I needed to say the title before we got into it. What do you think of this episode? Episode 11, Silence of the Lamb.
You good? You need a little more coffee today?
That's the last gasp of energy just leaving my body.
I like this episode because it's the first episode we meet Leo.
Oh, Leo.
I love Leo. And Leo's a Leo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't even do his voice that he does in there. It's okay. We'll try again.
Yeah, I was like, we'll practice. Practice.
Perfect.
We have a little more time with Leo.
Yeah, no.
Contrary to how this episode feels at the end.
Mm-hmm.
We're never going to see him again.
Right. I didn't catch the first time we watched this that it was a suspension for a week.
Yeah, he's suspended for a week.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Well, of course he's going to come back. Among other revelations, Mac's name is Cindy.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And Veronica was inspired by Mac's business plan, and that's why she's taken on $50 a pop, clients to find dirt about their parents.
Yeah. $50 a pop to find dirt on your pop.
You should have worked in marketing for her.
Yeah.
You could put that energy into our marketing.
We don't want that energy.
No, that's but yeah, I like that. That's my big notes on it were classmates that want dirt on parents. Oh, that Keith refers to the first woman who dies as a young coed. And I was like, is it 1970? Like, why are we calling her a coed? She's a student at a college.
Right.
Coed isn't even like it's used to describe women every time. And I'm like, but it's co. Shouldn't it be both?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But no, because women aren't supposed to be there. It's sexist.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Keith, we have a problem. Oh,
yeah.
Keith does a lot of misogynistic things this episode, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people do a lot of misogynistic things this episode. Where did I write that down? I just kept... Oh, on the wall-to-wall drunk bitches line. I'm like, this is wall-to-wall sexism. It is all over. Some of it's intentional, obviously, to be like, oh, these guys are scumbags. And otherwise, it's like you just brought up.
Well, or like at the end, which we can touch on this a little bit more later, but when Keith jumps into breaks into the place where Leo and his band are playing, are they in a storage unit? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah. Really sketchy storage unit.
With a door. He's like, yeah, hey, you random person I've never met before that's in Leo's band, follow Veronica back to the station. It's like, right. What if he's the murderer? The first time we watched this, I was like, I bet he's the murderer, because it seems like such a weird setup.
Yeah, totally. They do, like, because I think it's partially that. So I literally put, I'm like, Leo's the red herring. Because it's like, yeah, I'm in a band.
No, not Leo, but the other guy in the band.
Oh.
Because he's like such a random. He's like, follow her back to the station. Leo, do you have your gun? Come with me.
Yeah, you got your piece?
Your piece.
Love
420.
That one. Yeah, bro.
Puff, puff, pass, baby. Oh, that's not what we're talking about?
No, Leo can't because he wouldn't be able to be on the police force. Or he gets fake pee from online.
Are you allowed to be a cop at 20? You shouldn't be allowed to be a cop at 20. You shouldn't be allowed to be a cop until your prefrontal cortex is fully developed.
If you're allowed to serve in the military, you can probably be a police force. Be in
the police force?
Yeah. Or be a police force, I guess.
No.
Force for good.
That's fine. Interesting.
But the law is really good, isn't it?
Well, and he's also a sheriff. I don't know if that's like a different...
He's a...
deputy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, sheriff's deputy.
Is it
He's a sheriff's deputy. I didn't put that
I
together.
shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy.
Yeah, I would. If we were playing a fuck, marry, kill, I would kill Lamb and marry Leo.
Who would you fuck, Keith?
Obviously. You just
gotta... like you left off a crucial step. You need a third person.
I don't want to marry him. He's got a daughter. There's a lot of baggage. I'm not ready to be a mother.
Oh
boy. Okay. Well, we can start at the top. First thing I wrote down, I'm like, oh, we're just going to skip right past the ending of the last episode, aren't we? Because there's just no mention of...
Logan's family?
Exactly. And then Logan and Duncan fail to appear in this episode.
Yeah, because we don't have a lot of school scenes.
But it was just like, oh, okay, we're just going to breeze right past. I feel like I would be like left hanging a little bit.
I think they were doing that on purpose, so you watch again next week.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
But if you don't tantalize me a little, I'm not coming back.
True.
I'll find a new lover.
Yeah. No.
No.
Gonna have to go back to Leo. What was I gonna say? That was the thing I hated about like network TV. It's like there'd be this big setup and then like some episode that has nothing to do with it the next.
Pretty Little Liars did that all the fucking time. It's the worst.
It's the worst.
I mean, I did watch the first 3 seasons post-op on pain meds, so like they might not have done it during then. I wouldn't know.
And you had them on DVD, right?
The first 3 seasons, but not after that.
So it was a little more...
We still have them. You want to pop them in the player?
I don't recognize them anymore. The player. Gotta turn
Hand me the clicker.
Yeah, turn it to channel 3.
Yeah. Do you have the cords plugged in the back? Why is it fuzzy?
Yeah, why is it not working?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, no, Logan Duncan just missing. It's very frustrating. It's network TV is stupid like that.
But yeah, we literally start with Keith figuring out that there's these killings happening again, and he's getting called in to work at the
sheriff department.
Yep.
Are we playing Mad Libs?
Yes.
Working at the circus.
I guess it doesn't start with that, actually. There's the news broadcast.
Yeah.
And
Keith uses the phrase coed, and then he asks Veronica, do you go to these bars over on the east side or whatever? And she was like, no, I prefer the biker bars. And then she was like, no, I'm just kidding. Why are you so weird?
Right.
And he was like, the coed was killed. And I'm like, oh.
Great. Thanks, Keith.
Not letting that one die.
Which I thought it's funny that they're alluding to like a real serial killer. Yeah. Hillside Strangler. Oh, and didn't they even made a mention, like a passing reference to like, oh, I thought it was like they caught him up in Oakland.
Yeah, so people were trying to say that the Strangler, for the Hillside Strangler, was the same person who had done the initial stranglings, because there's a history of this in the past.
Right.
But this person's still out there.
Yeah. And then we get an introduction to Veronica's business at the school, because guy comes up to her and he's like, hey, like, I heard you could like do some
PI shit or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. PI. Yeah. And it's like, or PI favors or something like that. It's like, I only do favors for friends. He's like, I can pay. And she's like, hello, friend.
We love a queen who runs a business.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, that makes so much more sense. Like, why work pro bono when everybody's rich at your school?
Yeah. And then we go back to the Mars investigation. As like the office.
Yeah.
We hit up the office. Where then the mayor and
Hi, Maya.
and Sheriff Lamb come in to ask for Keith's help on the Strangler.
Because he's the closest thing they have to an expert.
Mm-hmm.
He's Clarice Starling from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, God.
Where they get the name of the episode.
For some reason, I wrote down, Daddy's going back to the Sheriff's Department.
Is it because Sheriff Lamb asked for her daddy?
Probably. I don't know.
Daddy.
We were sober. I mean, I had eaten a lot of pizza, but...
Neptune, watch out. There's a new Zaddy back in the sheriff's office.
Oh. But yeah. So then we meet Leo, right? Is that what's next?
Yes.
And we're like, ooh, look at that cute young sheriff who wants to eat Keith's lunch. And Veronica's like, I know the way into your heart. I'll just feed you, you hungry, hungry boy. Which I'm like, of course. Like, I've never met a 20-year-old who didn't want a meal.
Yeah, exactly. Especially pizza.
Well, but at that time, it's his pastrami. It's a
Oh,
pastrami
right.
sandwich.
Yeah, I'm jumping ahead.
Giving away secrets.
No, the pizzas.
Pizza, just like the Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
And
we get them. Then after we get the montage of people being like, "Hey, Veronica, like, look into my parents."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Yeah, your mom had a miscarriage."
Was that one of them? That's
nope.
awful.
Nope. Lost it. Awful. An annulled marriage.
Oh, I see what happened there.
Oh, God.
An annulled marriage.
Yeah, and then comes the baby in the baby carriage.
There you go. That's
God.
much better.
And I'm done. Yeah. Wild word association.
Sometimes things happen in our brains.
Yeah, that'd be an awful thing to put in that montage.
Yeah. What would be the worst thing you could put besides that? Let's think. Like, your parents are like secret murderers, or like
right.
You were originally born of the Manson family and then adopted out.
Here's a photo of your father with his fellow Klansmen.
Oh, I like that one because that's good for that neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm just
people.
thinking of Watchmen still.
There we go. And then we get Mac, who's like, "Hey, Veronica, I've got an idea. We could make a big business here. We could do, like, I can set up this website. We can charge people this much. We can set it up this way." And she's like, as a PI, you have access to platforms that would take me a lot longer to hack into. Mm-hmm. Which I'm just like, oh, get it, Mac Attack?
Yeah, totally.
And then she's like, Veronica's like, I'll think about it. And then she's like, oh, by the way, like, can you look into my parents? And Veronica's like, yeah. Which means that she thinks of Mac as a friend because she refuses to take her money.
Exactly.
Isn't that sweet?
It is sweet. And Mac is a friend.
Mac is a friend.
And she's got the, I don't get along with my parents, so there must be something up here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weirdly validated.
Yes. Because then, I mean, do we get anything in between that and finding out?
Yes, there's some other stuff in between.
Okay.
So before we go back to Keith and Sheriff Lamb visiting the record shop, I think.
For some reason, I have above that switched at birth, but not told.
Oh, well, no. Veronica finds that they won the $1 million lawsuit first with the hospital.
Yes.
And she's like, what's all this then?
What's all this then? Those were our really bad Cockney accents. Yeah. We're sorry. We apologize.
Yeah, offending people everywhere. And I was like, so then they go to the guitar shop, and it's like, we get shithead Sean Astin.
You know what I have written down? Guitar players are weird on this show.
Yeah. So it's playing in. Do you remember? It's playing into like that, like metalheads and people are like bad people. Where like,
no,
in my experience,
because we're the School of Rock generation, we found out that we need to rock. So yeah. Let's rock. Let's rock.
For those
today.
About to rock. Yeah, exactly. In my experience, metalheads are some of the nicest people on the face of the planet?
I don't know any.
Gotcha. So in high school, we used to go. My friend's band used to play at this like club in Escondido.
What was it like to have clubs nearby?
So Escondido is actually not a Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I think it was 16 up even. It was like all ages, I think. Because I remember we'd go there and watch his band play, and they were a metal band.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one time we went. These kids couldn't have been older than 15. So because we're like 17 at the time, so it's like, look at these young kids. Like they're maybe freshmen or like eighth grade, junior high, and they were playing They played a Metallica song, and like if you're nervous, you like you'll play faster.
You speed up.
Yeah. So they were playing at like double the speed. So there's this. I don't know if you know the Metallica song "Seek and Destroy." So yeah, that's all right. But it goes like seek and destroy. So they're playing it at like double the speed. So it's like seek and destroy. So that was like
cute.
I know, but we privately, that was like our joke for a while at the time. Just me and my friends were like seek and destroy.
So you were quietly bullying children who were braver than you guys because they were on the stage.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't bully.
You didn't know them to bully them. You bullied them behind their back.
Right, and outside of the venue.
Well, there you go.
And yeah, we'd go there, watch my friend's band mosh, and all that fun stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, mosh pits are.
They're
violent.
not for me.
They're violent, but they're very respectful. Like people don't want you on the ground. People will pick you back up and throw you out.
Yeah, but my problem is that I don't want to be touched.
Yeah. So then there's another problem. I remember at Outside Lands watching Metallica, I got knocked, like the wind knocked out of me in a mosh pit because this giant dude was like spinning around. And so his arms clocked me in the middle of the chest. I literally lost my breath. Someone picked me up and I had to like crawl out.
I wish I had seen it.
Oh, it was hilarious. I mean, Brady would know. He was there.
Oh, didn't take any videos
or the
for me.
Schneeps or Brian, yeah. Or Danny. There you go. I named the crew.
It's like, okay, so everyone was there. Got it.
We rode 6 in a 5-seater car. No. Yeah. And so someone rode in the back. It was an SUV. And so we bottomed out. We like destroyed Eric's suspension. Okay, but back to the metalheads in this one. They are portrayed as the guy is just the worst. He looks like Sean Astin, aka Rudy, aka Samwise Gamgee.
Oh,
right.
Huh.
They look super similar, right?
He's Rudy?
Sean Astin?
Yeah.
Not the guy in this episode.
No, but the other, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. He's Rudy.
Regular size Rudy?
No. Yeah, Rudy. Rudy. But yeah, because I'm like, oh, this is like playing into like the metalheads are like anarchist and the worst, and like they don't go as far as to do like the Satan worshiper thing, but
well, no, we haven't seen a Hot Topic yet.
No, but it did make me think of it's the famous murder case where the metalheads got they were like found guilty even though there was like no evidence against them.
Interesting.
I can't remember what it was called, but it was like 3 kids and like someone like a girl was murdered, and so like it's like one of those cases where they completely ignored like evidence contradicting their theory that these kids did it. It was only because they like listened to metal and they were thought of as like Satanists and things like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like kind of weirdly playing into that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean without being like Satanist, just that like, ooh, these outsider like band people, I guess.
Band geeks. I'm just
Mhm.
kidding.
Yeah. Also, shithead Sean Astin talks. He's like, yeah, we're like, guitar guys nailing women. I'm like, oh god.
I'm like, dude, you're not exactly any. There's no woman here.
Mm-hmm. And then so him and Sheriff Lamb have a dick measuring contest,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, Sheriff Lamb's like, oh, does that guitar
Make you feel like a man.
Yeah. And he's like, does your gun? She's like, oh, that's actually a pretty good point.
Yeah.
But then we get to the reveal of Mac's parentage.
Mac was switched at birth with Madison Sinclair.
I know.
Who was the beginning of this episode? We didn't talk about this. The very
Oh,
beginning,
right.
it's Madison Sinclair's birthday. She's turning 17, so her parents hired a violin orchestra, a string quartet. I don't know. I don't know how many people were there. And they had the butler bring the cake and hand it out to her friends. And so we find out that Madison and Mac were switched at birth. And from there, we ensue a lot of very awkward moments with Madison and her mother.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's we'll get to it, but like later with like Mac visiting, it's kind of like her mom's like, why didn't I have you, the good child? As if like genetics would dictate that like her child was a spoiled brat. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's an argument of nature versus nurture, you know?
Yeah.
I could see that.
But I feel like you could like make some, at least with the way, if like we're insinuating how like Madison has turned out, like.
Mm-hmm. But why is the younger sister so good then?
Oh, true.
Boom.
Do you think Madison would still be horrible if she lived Mac's life though?
Yeah. I think she's just horrible.
To her core.
Yeah.
I don't like that read.
In later episodes, she does the whole like she's hooking up with Logan and shit, and
Right,
you know we've
but
got some.
I don't like the read that we're just born into the world like that.
No. I just think she is. She's one of those people that is just not a good person.
Okay.
I think anyone who wants to be good can be good, but I don't think she wants to be good. She has no motivation to be good.
Do we also think that comes from privilege?
I think somewhat, but it also is intrinsic. Like there has to be some part of you that wants to be better. And if you don't want to be better, you're not going to get better.
I guess so.
Mindset.
Yeah. Okay. But you don't think that would come about if she was like in a different situation, raised differently?
Maybe, but she was also like Mac's not poor. She's solidly middle class.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
Probably upper
know how that would have played out for.
They go camping though.
They have an RV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Camping.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Mac there. Of like, oh God, we got to do this again every year.
What was it like to have to go camping?
You sleep outside, get dirt everywhere.
We did not go camping because we were poor.
Yeah, that makes sense. Then the next thing I have is they've got the bartender at one of the clubs in the questioning room.
Yes.
And that's when he drops the line of wall-to-wall drunk bitches.
Yeah, because they're
I
like,
can't remember.
Do you know this girl? And there's wall-to-wall drunk bitches. Oh, the sorority girl, whatever.
Right. And then Veronica shows up and it's like, like
I'd remember her.
And then Keith kissed the chair out of it from under him, which is pretty great.
Yeah, I do love that.
Sit down.
And he's like, you should talk to the videographer.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, he's like, oh, the guy that like sells tapes to Girls Gone Bad.
Woo!
Spring break.
Exactly.
It's funny all the things around this time, like between this and Arrested Development, that reference Girls Gone Wild.
Mm-hmm. It was of the time.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming, like, looking back on that, a lot of that was not consensual.
I have no idea. I never watched it.
I didn't either. I didn't have the money. You had to order the tapes.
Did you really?
No, I mean, I didn't. I said I didn't have the money.
No. I'm saying, is that how that business worked? You had to order the tapes?
Yeah,
because
because
they just watch it on TV. It wasn't like a thing.
No, because it was porn.
Oh, I thought Girls Gone Wild was just like a show on TV.
No. So late night, they would run commercials. I don't know. It'd be like I'd watch like Comedy Central at a friend's house at like 11 p.m. to like or like midnight.
You wild kids.
I know, we were up late.
That's when you get the phone sex ads.
Exactly. So you get phone sex ads and you'd get Girls Gone Wild ads, and it'd be like, oh, you'd buy this DVD for $19.99, but wait, we'll throw in 2 extra. It's Girls Gone Wild Olympics, and I don't know, weird stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm learning so much.
yeah, there you go. I wrote down also during Veronica and Leo's interactions, who's that dreamy deputy?
Oh, baby.
Mm-hmm.
From there, then, do we go to Madison Sinclair's birthday party?
No, because first we stopped by the Worms.
Oh.
And before, actually, in the scene with Veronica and Leo at the station, because they're flirting back and forth, and it's like, she's 17 and you're a cop. It doesn't look good. And also his computer had a low battery signal.
Yeah, that was the best part. It's like his MacBook had a low battery, or his Mac, his desktop had a low battery signal, and I was like,
"What work are you doing, Leo?"
How does that happen?
Yeah, right.
If you want your monitor, doesn't it turn off?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he plugged his computer into his monitor. Was technology there yet?
Yeah, I bet it was. 2004, 2005. What was I doing then? What computers was I using? Desktops. But there was MacBooks, so I'm sure they had VGA cables that you'd plug into. But yes, then we go visit the Worm, played by Aaron Paul, which I was like, yes, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely sweaty. Sells videos of drunk girls apparently, but doesn't.
Yeah, he just creates his own little porn collection.
Yep, and watches them really loudly in his apartment.
Was it an apartment or like a motel? I couldn't tell. Was it an apartment?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if he like is around enough for them to know, you would assume
it's an apartment.
But yeah. And then they notice that he's got a guitar in there, and it's like, oh. Sheriff's Lamb, like, didn't you see the guitar? We could have just arrested him. And Keith's like, no, you don't want to spook him. We got to get a warrant. You idiot. Yeah. Keith does some great running circles around Lamb in this episode. And Lamb is just awful. Just awful.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Yep. As I put in my notes here succinctly, Sheriff Lamb is such a complex.
Well, and then I think what's so interesting about this episode as a whole even is that the motivation for the mayor to fix this problem is tourism. It's because spring break is coming.
Yeah, right.
And the coeds won't come for spring break if it's a dangerous place to be.
We need that coed money, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That coed coin.
Oh my god. BRB gotta go throw up.
The coed cost. Then we go to Madison Sinclair's party, the party of the century of the year.
That Veronica and Wallace and Mac crash.
Right. And freak her out because they're poor people at her party.
Mm-hmm.
And then do the talking real fast so she can't like get into worded edgewise on who
invited them.
Exactly. Which is tremendous routine.
Mm-hmm. And then Wallace kind of takes it over.
Right. And I do like Wallace being like, so this is where the rich people live. And then just, shouting her until they get in.
Mm-hmm. And then Veronica gets pulled over by a client who wants to utilize her new business. Wallace is keeping Madison busy. And then Mac goes into the library because she's exploring and meets who would be her biological baby sister, who is reading a book that she's read. Yeah. Because good literature does run in the family.
It does. It's in your blood.
Mm-hmm.
Words, pages.
Exactly.
Getting a glimpse of what her life could be like.
Exactly. And then Madison comes in and she's like, you have to go. And is like being a royal bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And
stomping in. Stomp, stomp, stomp.
And Mac doesn't say anything about like Veronica stops her from dropping the bomb of you weren't even supposed to be here.
Right. I would have 100% dropped the bomb if I was in Mac's
Me
situation.
too. And I'd be asking that family for money.
Oh, yeah.
Pay for my college.
Mm-hmm.
You should have raised me. How dare you do this to me?
Right, totally.
And well, granted, I love my parents. Like, you fucked me up.
Yeah.
What do you think the psychological damage is to a child who was switched at birth and then not switched back and doesn't feel like they belong and then finds a basis for it?
Totally. And Mac's poor parents tried to start a business. Dad tried to start a business, and now he just works there.
Yeah.
But do you think if they sold it, well, I guess it wouldn't have. It went into the ground, so it probably sold it for a minuscule amount.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they have enough money to like go do stuff. But yeah, it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
But I did love that all the vacation photos that Max looked at, I like how poorly photoshopped all of them were.
It's just Madison in front of this
Right.
specific landmark.
The Leaning Tower of Pizza. Pizza. It's a different landmark than Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
Oh, it's great.
Is it when we don't take out the recycling and have too many pizza boxes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which I thought was a tremendous touch.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would 100% drop the adoption thing on her. But
Yeah, fuck you.
yeah. Veronica, don't interrupt.
Yeah.
You're getting in the way.
What is your moral high road you're on over here?
Yeah, I know. She is on a moral high road the entire... Well, she feels responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Because she dropped the news. But like she said, like he said to her, and then she said in this episode...
It's the job.
Mm-hmm. Next scene is Veronica taking the pizza to Leo.
To Leo.
Yeah, Leo, the lion.
Yeah, and then they hang out, and he's like, "Oh, you're only 17," and then she gets Weevil to come in and do your favorite bit.
Yes, I was really excited about this bit.
So Veronica just wants to get into the record room so she can pull a specific tape of the call-ins, the tip line from Lily. I was like, "What's her name?" Lily's, case, and so she's like, "I need someone to distract Leo," and our boy Weevil delivers.
Mm-hmm. Comes in with all the white people complaints. There's too much loud music in my neighborhood. We can't get any sleep. I can't believe you guys don't come down and stop this. We're trying to have a great time. Oh, and I'm going to be able to vote this year. Your sheriff's not going to be able to stand, or not going to get Weevil. I think he says Weevil Esquire's vote.
I think it was Eli Navarro Esquire's.
There you go. Yeah, Eli Navarro Esquire's vote. And he's always like, I don't think you can help me. I think I should speak to your supervisor. Like all the great white people complaints.
He Karen before there was a Karen.
Exactly. Yeah. Weevil walked.
So Karen could run.
Exactly.
Or complain. So Karen could speak to your manager.
Exactly. Yeah, I was very, very happy with that scene.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets the tape so that then she can have our good friend Mac decode it.
Mac.
You playing the little hand clappy game?
Yeah, I
Miss
have
Mary
that. Mac. Every time Mac is on screen, that's always what goes through my head.
Wow.
She can really hack.
Oh, you made your own version.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
She sometimes wears black. Those popular kids are gonna have a heart attack. Okay, I'm done.
It was beautiful.
Thank you so much. Then we have...
You can buy it on SoundCloud.
Exactly. Guys, support the SoundCloud. It's all nursery rhymes.
Veronica Mars Nursery.
Exactly. Get a compilation CD, 12 songs. But wait, there's more. We'll throw in... What are you looking for?
I was just checking to make sure the plant that I watered hadn't overflowed. Yep.
Carry on. Then we have the worm in custody.
Oh, yeah. Or
Getting good
squirmy worm.
Mm-hmm. He's very squirmy and very sweaty. Mm-hmm. And I put probably sweaty because he's wearing 3 coats and he's in San Diego. And they do the old
good cop, bad cop.
Mm-hmm.
What does he write on the paper?
I want a lawyer.
Fair.
Yeah. He doesn't break.
Mm-mm.
This worm is made of stronger stuff, apparently. This creepy worm.
Because he didn't do it.
Right.
He's just creepy.
And Sheriff Slam's like, I got this. And he's about to get slammed.
Yep. Lamb got slammed.
Mm-hmm. I'm running against Sheriff Lamb in the upcoming election. Get Lamb slammed. That's my promise to you.
All right. And then we get our action, right?
Yeah. Action.
So when Leo and Veronica were having their pizza party at the sheriff department, Which I'm surprised Sheriff Lamb didn't like come in and be like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Like, what?
Right.
Why is she allowed behind the counter at the sheriff's department?"
Yeah, and you think Lamb would have actually brought it up to Keith too. It's like, your daughter's been hanging around the sheriff's department a lot. That's how he sounds. That's how you talk.
Oh,
that's what I'm gonna say at the debate too. You talk like this, big stupid dude.
Oh my God, you are 100% drama today.
I'm just saying he needs to back off.
Fair. I support you.
Thank you.
But he's like, "Hey, I've got one line and I use it on all the ladies. Like, you want to come listen to my listen to my band play?" He's like, "Cause then, like if they're not interested, whatever, and like it's and then he's like, but you can't even get into the club because you're not 18.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be a big red flag for you if it's like, don't come to the club, come to my storage container where we practice?
Yeah. I don't.
It's not a U-Haul one. It's certainly one that's not it looks sketchy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would not feel comfortable visiting anyone's storage unit with them.
Mm.
I went with your sister to one once. That was all right.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that was fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't worry about her putting me in it, so we're good there.
And she didn't say, come see my band. And you're like, wait, you don't play an instrument?
Exactly.
Yeah, but then we get the woman coming in and being like, you need to find my daughter. She's missing. I'm going to hold you responsible if you don't go find her. Which fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and Leo's like, oh, maybe she's just like on a walk, gone. Like he's so like they have a serial killer on the loose, and Leo's like, wonder like she might just be out walking the dog.
He does kind of look like behind the desk, like he's just finished smoking a joint on his break, and he's just kind of like, boy, like being a sheriff's deputy's tough, man.
Like I gotta do things.
Yeah, forget to lock up the storage thing once.
And then we cut to another scene because Keith was gonna leave, where he's like, well, now another girl's missing. And we know it's not the one guy because he's in custody. So it means we have a killer on the loose. And then Leo's like, I'm going to go band practice.
Right. This tripped me up so bad.
We had to rewind.
Yeah. To see, because it's like, wait, so Leo's not in the scene with the other police officers when they issue the APB because he had to be at the band practice. Like, but why did Leo leave? Was he not there? The timing on it really, really tripped us up.
And then you see a bunch of cutscenes of Keith calling Veronica, asking her where she is because he's worried about her because the killer's still on the loose. And now the killer probably doesn't like Keith.
No,
But who does like Keith in that town?
I know, a lot of people don't. He's a great guy.
I know. Everyone likes him behind closed doors.
Right. I mean, I don't want to marry him, but like he's a great guy.
I was gonna say.
Like I said, it's a lot of baggage, and just I don't think I need to take on his child, raising Veronica, who's not that much.
But you'd fuck him.
Just a night at the Neptune Grand.
Oh, that's what I love about you. You're so open-minded.
Yeah, me and Keith.
My night with Keith.
Sheriff.
Oh, this is so problematic.
That's the worst. Yeah. So then we get action scenes of him calling and driving, and then opening up the storage container, gun drawn.
To Leo's band practice.
Yeah, just like
And he's like, "Are you okay?" And Veronica's like, "Yeah, I mean, like minus the whole like, what the fuck are you doing with your gun out thing? Like, we're doing great. How are you doing, Dad?" And he's like, Leo, and she's like, maybe.
Yeah. Do you not pay attention when you're in the sheriff's department?
And then he asks another member of Leo's band to follow her back to the police station because it's not possible he could be the killer, even though he's in a band holding a guitar.
Yeah, it is just bad. It's bad parenting.
Bad parenting. Great man, bad dad.
Mm-hmm.
Keith Mars.
Exactly. But he pieces together because they have the soundproofing.
Mm-hmm. That, it must be happening where they play the music.
Exactly. At the guitar shop.
Mm-hmm.
Go there, and there's a woman locked in a kegerator.
Yeah, I was very confused with that. I was like, what is this thing?
It's a kegerator.
Mm.
because it's the refrigerator. You put the keg in there, and then you hook it up to the thing, and it keeps it cold.
How fun. I mean, not being locked in it, but...
No. Yeah, exactly. Awful. Like, seriously, that's, like, seriously scarring to be locked in that thing.
Yes, that is not a good thing.
Busts her out. Sean Astin comes down the stairs, going to hit him. And then Leo comes in, dives, takes him out, tackles.
Stand by your man. Or your future daddy-in-law.
Exactly.
I mean...
If he hopes.
Yeah.
But saves his life.
Mm-hmm.
And what does he get in credit for that? Suspended.
Yeah, well, also, don't you think that's partially because Liam's like, you helped Keith solve the thing without me?
Yeah, that's true. And that Leo doesn't put that together. But Leo probably did. And he's just like, man, Veronica did this stuff behind my back. I still don't like it.
He's dense as fuck, though.
Kind of is. But he still joins the FBI later.
And then we get Mac and Veronica trying to decode the thing that Veronica got Leo suspended for stealing.
Right before the Mac's family is going to be going to...
Yosemite, maybe?
Exactly.
She doesn't know until she gets in the van.
Mm-hmm.
And...
I thought that was an illusion until she literally asked her family and they don't tell her.
Yeah, I'm like,
okay.
Is it a fun game we play?
Right, I thought she was like, oh, I just don't care, so I don't ask. It's like, oh no, they literally don't tell her.
And so then... They finally figure out the voice is Clarence
Weedman.
I was like, I can't remember. Wieldman?
Thomas.
Yeah.
The judge.
Oh, God. And so Veronica puts that together, and then we get my favorite scene. So Veronica's leaving. Mac's family's loading up in the van, or loading up in the RV. And was it a Honda Odyssey? It was a minivan of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls up across the street, and it's Madison Sinclair's mom, Mrs. Sinclair. I don't know what her first name is.
I don't think she gets a name.
Mm-mm. And Mac walks up to the window, and she looks at the woman who is her biological mother, and she puts her hand on the glass. And then Mrs. Sinclair puts her hand on the other side of the glass. She doesn't roll down the fucking window like a normal person. And no one in Mac's family is like, wonder who this lady is.
Yeah.
Or, is that Mrs. Sinclair? Like, we were part of a big lawsuit together. When I look at you, I remember that you don't look like the rest of us.
Right. And I think you would kind of keep tabs. Yeah. Remember, who are you talking to over there, honey?
Yeah.
It's just like, what are you doing? Why are you touching that car?
And then when her parents call out to her to tell her to go get in the RV, Mrs. Sinclair drives away. Mm-hmm. I was worried she's going to run over her foot. That's a very close... being that close to a car and having it drive is dangerous.
Very dangerous. That's your biological daughter, too.
Maybe she wanted to take her out. If she can't have her, no one can.
That's true.
Well...
And plays that really weird electronic music song. You way you are...
It's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we wrap up the episode with Veronica being like, okay, Clarence, well, if you want to fuck with me, I'm going to fuck with you. So she...
Game on, Weedman.
So she takes photos of him with targets, similar to how he had sent photos to her mom of her. And it's like him with his kids and him doing things.
And with Jake Kane.
And with
poorly
Jake Kane.
Photoshopped.
Yeah, I was like, is he whispering in his ear or are they going to kiss?
Hey, let me whisper in your ear.
You love the whisper song.
I do. I find it really funny. That and everybody in the club get tipsy.
Oh my God.
It's my favorite part.
If anyone needs Brenton, they'll be jamming out to the same two songs on repeat.
And if you need me to whisper on any of your songs, let me know.
His ASMR is he's now accepting bookings.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she tells him, game on. Like, if you're going to fuck with me, I'm going to fuck with you.
In the wise words of Ed Sheeran.
I was just thinking this.
Can cross me. Can cross her. Cross me.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah. Am I going to do a CrossFit?
Well, we're a mess. Any final thoughts?
No, this is the Mac parenting plotline is so silly.
And we never really talk about it again.
No, and we get that she's kind of like somehow resolved that, like, okay, these are my parents, but like also at the same time there's so much left unsaid there that it's like really we don't really get a good idea of like how she really feels about it.
Does no one go to therapy in this town?
No.
I think we need.
In the last season, the fact that Veronica's going to go to therapy is like a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think anybody else is.
That's strange.
Yeah. I think maybe not Madison. Cindy Mac does later, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's a little
PTSD.
different. Yeah.
All
right. Well.
But yeah, the next episode is called Take two. Clash of the Tritons.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. It's with the Secret Society.
Oh, this one's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Some weird photos of Duncan come from this one.
Yes, exactly. So get excited for that. But where can people find you on the internet?
I am on the internet in multiple locations, including but not limited to.
What's your search history like?
Would you like my username and password?
Yeah. Where can people download your cookies?
You should make cookies, and then I can download them into my tummy.
Make cookies. Don't download them.
You can find me on TikTok and YouTube at Emily Brusky, Emilybrucesky. I post some fun self-help, kind of life coaching things. I also just post some weird shit on TikTok because that's what it's for. Get a lot of inspiration for my strangeness from there. And it helps with my short attention span because videos at most can only be 60 seconds on TikTok. But if you like long form, YouTube is where you should go. You can also find me on butreallythoughblog.com, though spelled THO. And you can follow our other podcast, a conspiracy theory podcast called But Really Though, wherever you found this podcast.
Wait.
Like you can find it on whatever you found this podcast on. Yeah.
I see.
Like Apple Podcasts or Spotify or.
Yes, makes sense. And you can find us at Mars Rewatch on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for the salute, but it doesn't really play.
Physical comedy doesn't work here?
No.
All right. Well, stay toasted, marshmallows.